Kody Brown likes his women shy and pretty. Shy and pretty. That's been his new take on Robyn since the other women have left him. And he has used that word numerous times to describe her almost as a way to suggest that if you are not shy, you are not good for him, right? And I think he misconstrusive. Like I think when he says shy, he really means obedient. And he's also by calling her pretty, taking a jab at his ex-wives, who he obviously doesn't think is pretty or are pretty now regardless. What a horrible thing for him to say. Either way, Janelle and Meri's plot this year was working together to try to get the Coyote Pass deal done. Janelle often playing mediator and relaying talks between her and Kody with Meri confused about why Kody couldn't just speak with her. This somehow is transposed and transmuted, as he would say, into a storyline of Kody saying that Janelle and him tried to do a backdoor deal, or Janelle wanted him to sell it out from under Meri or something. And this was brought up right before the property sold. And I still don't know when this all happened, because everything that happened on TV between Janelle and Meri and Kody talking with anyone else, nobody ever brought up the Enda. The Enda problem was only brought up towards the very end right before they closed on the property. But it was during one of these conversations that a convert that Janelle and Meri had a discussion about the shy pretty wife, right? Which was Robyn. Which then is now bringing up more of a conversation on the tell, all about if Robyn is submissive or not. And Robyn's submissiveness, or her kowtowing, has been a topic of talk in the family since the very beginning. Janelle clocked it right away when she joined the family because she would often say that Robyn would put praise on Kody and drip it on top of him and he's such an amazing man. He's such a great patriarch and a great guide, and I speak Kody, right? And she was in a brand new relationship with Kody, and the other women were tired of him and they weren't kissing his ass and he needed a new supply, you know what I mean? And so Robyn learned very quickly, I think, with Kody that if she played the damsel in distress and she played that submissive role of I need a man to rescue me and save me and protect me, and allowed him to play into that need to be in charge, that she would get what she wanted. So it's like differential submit. And part of what she would do is the kowtowing, which was lavishing all kinds of praise on top of him and making him think he was this amazing godly man. And she still does that to this day. And so Meri and Jen are asked about Robyn and whether or not she is submissive and what Kody wants. You feel like Robyn is submissive? I do. And I feel like that works for Kody. That's what he wants. Follow the rules. Do what I say. Don't get out of line. And I'm sure that there's times where she pushes back or stands up for herself. I'm sure there is. But eventually, he wants submissive. He wants somebody who's just going to kowtow to him. So kowtowing is bending and kneeling before authority, a leader or someone that you greatly respect, and submitting to them and praising them. And it can be lavishing praise. It can be literally bowing to someone, kneeling before them. But in this sense, it would be Robyn lavishing praise on him and kissing his ass and then allowing him to think that he's the big godly man that can make all the decisions and reinforcing Kody's strength. I know people don't believe that Robyn can be humble like this, but she can. And I want to just show you a few cases. And then when she finally found the guy that she was supposed to be with, she had to go to him and say, "Look, I gave away my purity. Someone else. He kind of stole it from me. And this was supposed to be yours, but I gave it to someone else. And I'm so sorry. Understand though, but it's because I want you to be the best you can be, not because of any other reason, okay? Cuscus, I know you're better than this. Let them know you're here for the girls and that you love them." Robyn changed her name. It's Robyn Alice Brown now. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, he's crying. Oh, you're crying. And I knew it was important to Kody, to feel cause each one of his women are brown. He may come across as high upkeep, but he's worth it. He does the same thing for you. For as excited as we all were about your gift, your answer was really, really hard. I was surprised. I guess I expected cause you've been talking about needing one for so long. I guess I expected more of a, oh, great, I really needed this. I kind of knew that Kody didn't really want a laptop totally for his birthday. I knew it wasn't going to be that fun for him, but he needs it. So it was kind of like you. They made him a good man. And I want to say thank you to each one of them and just go, you guys awesome. Thank you so much. Kody does have final say. He doesn't want to say that, but he does. Why don't you want to say that? We give him final say. He doesn't take final say. I could spend years going back in time and finding so many clips. There's even more recent examples, But she was always propping him up, speaking for him, encouraging him, talking over the other women. This if the other women would criticize him, she would not. Or if like a gift he doesn't like, she was like, yeah, I knew he wouldn't like that. Because she knew him better. That was sort of like how she acted. And she just kisses his ass always. So, Robyn can definitely play the part of kowtowing and, putting on a display and crying about her purity because she stole the purity or her purity was stolen from Kody. An entire display to show that she's, remorseful for sleeping with another guy even though she was married. Right? That was all for Kody. That was a full display for Kody to show loyalty, submission, obedience. The purity speech was probably the most disgusting show of obedience and submission I've ever seen. But yes, Robyn can definitely be obedient. Is it an act? Is it for real? I don't know. But it gets her what she wants, right? And you can use submission as a trick. And if you think that being submissive will get you what you want, you can do that. I mean, and that's a game that is played in polygamy. Whether or not she is submissive, I don't know. But he does have a lot of power over her. So, what else does Jen say? He doesn't want somebody to stand up and fight. What girl games? What would we have been playing? He feels that Robyn is very good at reading subtlety. So, what is the subtlety that Robyn is reading into? And what are girl games? I don't know what girl games are. I know Meri and I were not doing anything other than trying to just get the job done. And I think Kody puts a lot of store in the nuance that Robyn reads, but I'm not sure her nuance reading is always correct. Okay. So, if you remember, Kody during the apology tour didn't want anyone to push back. He just wanted them to sit through it and listen to him. He didn't want to have a talk with Meri. He didn't like it if he was stopped. He didn't want anyone to bring up the kids. So, there's truth to the fact that Kody doesn't want anyone to push back. He doesn't want anyone to fight him on, what he says or, hold him responsible to what he says. And Robyn during the apology tour is basically like, I'm so glad he took responsibility. Like, what? And she acts as though he actually took responsibility for apologizing for saying he didn't love them, because that was most important to Robyn, not because it was actually important to them. So, yes, Robyn can be submissive. And Kody also accuses Janelle and Meri of playing girl games as it relates to how they talk about her. And Kody during the season claimed that Janelle and Meri were basically just being petty and doing it as girl games. I'm assuming like Mean Girls, But that to me is just a way for Robyn to always play the victim, which then caters into Kody saving her, right? So that talk between Meri and Janelle wasn't about Robyn. It really was about Kody. How Kody is weaponizing Robyn against them and saying, you're so shy and you're so pretty and you're my shy, pretty wife. Like putting her on a pedestal, which then they react with quote unquote girl games, and Robyn taking it personal when the truth is, Kody's the one that's making it personal. And yes, polygamy causes girl games, but they have a right to respond to what Kody says. Just like Robyn. And Robyn would never say to Kody, but did you really apologize? Did you really take accountability? Were you really fair? She would never do that, because she knows if she did, she would get kicked back. The sister wives games like you guys like kind of taking a jab at each other. No, I don't know how when you call her submissive. Well, come on. He walked himself into look, he walked himself into that, and I had to just have his ex-wife's club for a minute with Meri. I thought it was really pretty funny. Okay, so I'm assuming that name calling equals girl games. No, name calling. I mean, he's definitely called me lots of things in this negotiation. So, is that a girl game if he calls me names or he makes fun of me and says things? Maybe that. Maybe he's playing girl games too. You guys, I don't know what world you live in, but I don't think it's name calling. If you call someone submissive, that's not pejorative. It's not an insult. It's a fact. You're either submissive or you're not. You're either someone who's a dominant or assertive, or you are submissive. It's a personality trait that Kody has said over and over and over that he values in his wife Robyn. And he praised her for her loyalty, which is essentially praising her for her obedience to him. So submission isn't even an insult. It's a reality. Robyn submits to Kody, and she is submissive to his needs, and wants so long as it benefits her. And because Kody is so obsessed with Robyn, and because Kody refers to her as like a $3 million piece of art or a diesel jeans model, when he says things about her and puts her on a pedestal knowing full well that there's 3 other women that he had children with and that he at one point in time loved and valued. And he's doing it because he's trying to overcompensate for the losses of them leaving and place her above them. It's Kody that starts it, and if they respond to it, then they're playing girl games, because he's the one that says she's my shy, submissive wife. And so Janelle is making a petty joke at Kody because it's an insult to her. He starts the insult by essentially saying that the other wives are brutal to him because they have an opinion. I mean, he's the one that ran back to Robyn and called them brutal. They were so brutal to me. They were so brutal to me. Brutal because they had an opinion. Brutal because they didn't kiss his ass. I'll tell you what, when you are in a relationship with someone, in the very beginning, you will kiss their ass. Maybe you will just be in that lovey stage. You know, it's like the honeymoon phase, and then you get decades in, 30 years into a marriage, and it's not like that anymore. But Kody wants to stay in that honeymoon phase. And Robyn caters to that by continuously kissing his ass and submitting to him, because she knows so long as she does, he will spoil her rotten. So, is she submissive, or is it a manipulation? It really doesn't matter, because the end result is she is submitting to him as a means to the end. And that was not something that they were willing to do. And no woman with any self-respect would submit to someone like Kody and give up their self-worth and their dignity by sharing a man's pencil with other women when the man treats these women like garbage. I mean, we are in a space. Let's be obvious here. These are 4 women that shared the same pencil. Kody would go from house to house and have sex with each one of them. They all shared the same germs. They all shared the same herpes on their lips. They probably, if we're being honest, probably have had sexually transmitted diseases or yeast infections or something, because that's what happens when men have multiple partners. And it frequently happens in polygamy, where the women end up getting bacterial infections, or they get yeast infections because of the man going from place to place and not being clean. So that's where we're at. Each one of them who has left him has realized they didn't stand up for themselves and they were settling for less. And so now they're out of it. And they don't want to be sharing Pia pencil anymore. They don't want to deal with that grossness. And it's not even just, it's the sharing. It's the having to watch him have relationships with other white women. I mean, what self-respecting woman would do this to themselves? Robyn still wants him to be a polygamist for Christ's sake. Let's be honest here. Robyn is the one that is submitting because she stayed with him. She stayed with him. She was encouraging him to look for other sister wives, to expand the family, to stay in polygamy. If that's not submissive, I don't know what is. Why would you as a self-respecting woman want that? Why would you as a self-respecting woman want to demonstrate that to your children? And what kind of value do you have as a woman when you are competing with other women and he has control? Of course, she is submissive. And Janelle and Meri saying a fact that Robyn is submissive and that she kowtows to Kody is not name-calling. It's the truth. And it's Kody that creates the drama. And Robyn is submissive, or she wouldn't be with Kody. Robyn is submissive, or she wouldn't admit that a man has a financial plan for her. If you are an independent, strong-willed, and self-respecting woman, that's not how it works. Robyn is a woman that needs a man to survive. And you can be in a relationship and have a man, but she needs them for her survival, for her money, for her shelter, for her feet, food, for everything. She has no existence outside of Kody. He is a god to her. So yeah, she is submissive, and Kody wants a wife like that, because Kody doesn't want anyone to tell him otherwise. And I'm glad that they're finally calling it out. They haven't done this before. They haven't talked about her being submissive. They've danced around it, right? So good for them. That submissiveness and that pandering that she does is part of the reason why the family blew up, because they weren't willing to do that anymore for him. So, her submissiveness and her love bombing of Kody is really why the family broke up. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.